Continuing our MySwing 6 video series, here is our third feature, lead wrist set angle. This is the same golf swing that we looked at in tilts. We've got a 30-year-old female, about a 25 handicap. You can see flight scope data at the bottom. She's hitting an 8-iron. We've hit the graphs. For lead wrist, we'll go into settings, and it's in the angles section of settings, and we'll click on lead wrist. Lead wrist is best viewed perpendicular to the lead forearm. So imagine she was wearing a watch, and you always want to be able to see the watch face. That's the best way to look at this angle. Obviously, it's much harder to see what the angle is from this view, so that's why we want to always be perpendicular. She starts at 140 degrees. Nothing too strange there. Some players will stand a little taller and the angle will be closer to matching the forearm, the lead forearm. Some players will be a little bit lower and a little less than 140 degrees. We continue back. We'll stop when the left arm's parallel to the ground. First thing you'll notice is how little set Elisa has. She started at 140. She's only set her wrist 8 degrees. This is a very high number at this point in the backswing. This would be something we would definitely want to take a look at. From here you'll see players go in two different directions. They'll either overset it at the top and get very narrow, or as you'll see in Elisa's case, she doesn't really set it much at all. So she only gets to about 110 degrees at the top. Again, we usually see anywhere from 95 to all the way down to 75 at the top. So again, the best way to really look at this angle is from this perspective. With 3D, this is the best way to view this. The wrist angle can get distorted with typical 2D images. So now we'll work our way down. What we usually like to see from here is the wrist loading, meaning that this set becomes lower, the number becomes lower. So she could get away with this position if she immediately set her wrist down to say 90, but you can see she immediately starts to throw from the top, and you're going to see this throwing action the whole way down. Generally speaking, with good players, we see this number go from say 90 to 70 when the left arm's parallel to the ground, and then it's started to release somewhere around this position. With Elisa, she's going to do the exact opposite. She gets to 110 at the top, and she is releasing the whole time. So she gets very, very wide here, not enough angle at all, and she's going to fight, as you can see, she's going to fight a path that's way to the left. You can notice with the flight scope numbers, and then you can see from a down the line view how she throws over the top, partly because of her wrist angles. Okay, so she's at 148 at impact. Almost every player we've ever measured raises the handle some at impact. It's very difficult to get it lower. Most players that get it lower will have very, very steep angles of attack. We'll continue on, and we see it end up at 117. Again, lead wrist set angle, the MySwing 6 video series.